Hi, Ray Hayden here, and this video is actually an alternative video to one I was going to create a demonstration of my taking the large exam of 299 multiple choice questions from the Siegel's books on torts, contracts, and criminal law. But I decided that it would be better to explain more about what happened to me on the October 2014 first year law students examination and why I passed. And that came to me when I was doing my first practice run on the questions. Basically, what I do is I created a document. It's got 100 numbers on it, and I just handwrite A, B, C, D next to it as hopefully is appropriate. And then I go back through. If I get anything wrong, I go back through the book and I check it. Now, what I want to do real quick is show you how I got up to speed in the first place. Adaptabar and bar max both work the same way in this regard. You'll see what I mean in a second. I read the question, and then I look at the A, B, C, D options. I immediately go to the answer and see what the answer was, but I read the discussion to see why the right answer is right and why the wrong answers are wrong. Now, initially, I do that a couple of times, and then I jump over to my answer sheets that I made up. And what I do is, the first time through, I immediately check why the right answer is right and why the wrong answers are wrong. Then I start taking the exam. Oh, that gets me set up for understanding the design and the logic of the questions. And it takes a while for me to get through that. It's not a fast process whatsoever. But when I get to the actually taking the exam parts of it, the practice exams of it, things start moving very quickly because I'm memorizing all the fact patterns and what the correct answers are, because anytime I get them wrong, I go and research them again. Now, this process here is helpful in either BarMax, Adaptabar, the Finn's book, or any other source that you may like or enjoy or are using, because when you're researching the ones you got wrong and understanding why the right answers are right and why the wrong answers are wrong, you're getting additional instruction into issues that will help us, hopefully, on the essay side of the exam. So in your practice for the multiple choice questions, you're getting information, whether you know it or not. It's kind of an accidental benefit that will or should hopefully help you on the essays. Now, with that, I want to jump over to why I did better in October 2014 than I had on the 5 previous attempts of the multiple choice questions part of the exam. Now, in June 2012, I started, and I finished in October 2014 when I passed. But my scores for the multiple choice questions were 65, 72, 65, 65, and 72. And then I got a 78. So I couldn't get past a 72. I never scored higher than a 72. In October 2014, my essays were not great. I averaged 65 across the board. I got a 70, 2 65s, and a 60. That averages out to 65s. And I needed a 73 on a multiple choice to pass. I never scored a 73 before, but I got a 78 this time. Now, lower than I wanted to get, to be sure, but a 78 got the job done because 73 did. This is why I passed on that particular exam. The instructions on the back of the multiple choice question booklet, where the multiple choice questions are, the back of that exam booklet of the questions, there are instructions. Now, if this is your first time, the June 2015 exam, if this is your first exam you're headed out to, this is like last second, you're getting blindsided by this. If you're a repeater, maybe you've fallen into the same trap I have, in that I'll give you the example under the torts question, because this is the one I know I got number 73 and number 74 correct right here, and I'll tell you what happened. In the beginning of my test, I saw 2 torts questions, and they were both dealing with negligence, and comparative negligence is how I answered both of them. Now, because they were right next to each other, and because they were both dealing with torts and negligence, and they seemed rather too easy for what they were, pardon me, I decided I better go back right now, and this is in the very beginning of the exam. They just read the instructions to us, and we were reading along not too long before this, so I knew I needed to go back and refresh what I just ignored on the instructions. And I read them, and they say, in part, assume the jurisdiction has not accepted comparative negligence. Well, here's the problem with that. The way they said it, what they really mean is assume contributory negligence. which changes how I would have answered both of those questions early on in my multiple choice session. So I did. I changed the answers, and I know for a fact I got, that's number 73 and number 74, that I got right because they were the first answers that I changed. I changed a couple of other answers along the way as I was going through the exam booklet, and as a couple other ones I answered differently than I would have had it not been for the instructions on the back of the booklet. So there is a way to get a sneak peek at those instructions with the caveat that buyer beware, you need to triple and quadruple check to make sure that these instructions are indeed the same as what you see on June 2015 when you sit down for the exam. Flip over to the back of that exam booklet and make sure you understand those instructions and make sure they're the same as the ones that I'm going to show you now. Not on the screen here, but they're on the website. Go to the Right Now page on my website for Ray's JD. You can Google Ray's JD or Ray Hayden JD, and it'll be the first return on you. Or Ray Right Now, Ray Hayden Right Now. That will definitely get you right to the page. It'll be the first return in Google. But go to 28 December 2014. Again, it's 28 December 2014. That posting, because I post them by date and they go in reversed order. So scroll down to 28 December 2014. And in that posting, I list the instructions from the back of the book. I can't remember specifically where I got those from or where I found them at. They may have been distributed by the California Bar for all I know. I don't remember where I found them, but I found them and I decided, you know what, I better share these with everybody. And they're on my website. So the Right Now page, 28 December 2014 on Ray Hayden's JD website within a website kind of thing. And that post will have the instructions. And make sure, but you have to make sure, if you're looking at those instructions and you understand what they mean and how they will affect how you answer the question, you have to make sure that the instructions don't change, because I wouldn't put it past the California Bar to watch this video and then change the instructions. I wouldn't put it past them. But go ahead and triple check, quadruple check to make sure that the instructions from 28 December 2014 on my site are the same as the ones that are on the back of the book in June 2015 when you're sitting down for your exam. Those instructions will change how you would have answered the multiple choice question if not for those instructions. So, but not for the instructions on the back of the book, you might fail the exam because you answered incorrectly because the instructions changed how you might have answered otherwise. So do yourself a favor and score better than 80, live my dream. I always wanted to score higher than an 80 and I never got there. But the reason why I got the 73 and 74 and up to the 78, the reason why I got the 78 is because I reread those instructions 4 or 5 times while I took the exam. Now, one last thing, I'll let you go. By studying these 299 questions from the Siegel's books, which I highly recommend. By the way, Siegel's doesn't pay me for my opinions, thoughts, or insights to their books, but if they wanted to send me a big bag of cash, I would happily accept. They closely match, they're closer than anything else out there to the design and logic of the actual questions you're going to see. So it would behoove you to have the Siegel's torts, contracts, and criminal law books and memorize the design and logic of all 299 questions. You set yourself up a practice exam sheet, maybe a document on your computer if you don't want to waste paper, or if you have recycled paper, even better. That's what I used to use. I've run out of it, so now I have to use fresh paper, but I would use the back. So use your recycling paper, do whatever you have to do to get the job done. Master the instructions from 28 December 2014 on my website. Triple, quadruple check them on June 2015 when you're sitting for the exam in the afternoon. Make sure you understand and master those instructions so that you can score the 80 and above that I always wanted to score on that exam and make us all proud and pass the exam in June 2015. Some more videos coming out before you sit for your exam, and that's the one last thing I want to touch on. There is, right this minute, in the beginning of May 2015, you still have more than enough time to properly prepare for the June 2015 first year law students examination, even if you're starting out cold right now. Okay, so I really want you to understand that. You have the time to be properly prepared for the June 2015 first year law students examination. You can make that happen, and by studying with the Siegels, memorize my definition sheets, memorize my one sheets, and memorize my exam version of the one sheet. and go through what I'm thinking while I'm writing them. Use your own ideas, your own thoughts or whatever, but go through those videos. They're in the playlist, and look at the exam version of the one sheet, memorize the definition sheets, memorize the one sheets, memorize that exam version of the one sheets, and memorize what I'm thinking, poor you, and memorize what I'm thinking as I go through there. Put your own touch to it, do whatever you got to do. But if you do that, I guarantee you, you are going to have, absolutely guarantee, you're going to have more issues right in front of your face than you ever need to have to pass any first-year law student's examination essay since 2002 through 2014, October 2014. Every single exam, more than enough issues are on my materials for you to pass. Okay? You just have to get the job done. Make it look like a passing answer. I'll touch that in another video or something like that. But anyways, with that, I hope everybody does well. I would love to see 80% of the people pass this exam, and I hope one of them is you. So with that, take care and be well.